Boulder, Colorado, lay still beneath a soft blanket of snow on Christmas night, 1996. In the upscale neighborhood of Chautauqua, warm lights glowed through the windows of an elegant, Tudor-style home. Inside, laughter echoed off marble floors and polished wood as the Ramsey family basked in the warmth of the holiday. JonBenét Patricia Ramsey, 6 years old, a basement window left slightly ajar. A door that didn't latch properly. A sound dismissed as eyes shifting on the roof. In hindsight, it's easy to scrutinize. But in that moment, no one saw anything out of place. As the night grew late, Patsy guided JonBenét upstairs, her voice soft and sing-song. A whispered prayer. A kiss on the forehead. The child curled beneath her comforter, a plush stuffed bear tucked beside her. The house dimmed, falling into silence, save for the occasional creak of old beams and the wind brushing past frosted windows. And then, nothing. No cries. No footsteps. No disturbances loud enough to wake the family. By morning, the magic of Christmas would be gone. But for now, the Ramseys slept beneath a quiet roof, unaware that their lives were already shifting. That something, or someone, had entered their world unseen. Downstairs, wrapped gifts still waited to be opened. Morning broke cold and gray over Boulder. Sunlight spilled across the snow-laced streets as the Ramsey household began to stir. Patsy Ramsey, still wearing the same clothes from the night before, descended the staircase just after 5:30 a.m., intending to start the day early. But what she saw on the bottom step stopped her in place. A ransom note, 2.5 pages long, lay spread across the stairs. Her breath caught. Her fingers trembled as she picked it up and began to read. The letter was handwritten, demanding $118,000 for the safe return of JonBenét. The message was odd, its tone theatrical, its details unsettling. The demand was exact, $118,000, the precise amount of John Ramsey's recent Christmas bonus. The note warned them not to contact police. But Patsy ran upstairs and dialed 911. "She's gone," she cried into the receiver. "My daughter's missing. We found a note." Within minutes, police arrived. Friends were called. Neighbors came in. The house filled quickly, chaotic and confused. Officers moved from room to room. No sign of forced entry. No broken locks. No screams had been heard. Still, JonBenét was nowhere to be found. Detectives noted the bizarre circumstances. Why would a kidnapper leave such a long note? JonBenét was in a windowless basement room, hidden behind a latched wooden door. Her lifeless body was sprawled on the floor, covered in a white blanket. Duct tape sealed her mouth. A garrote, fashioned from cord and a paintbrush, was twisted around her neck. Her tiny hands were bound. There was a severe skull fracture beneath her blonde curls. She had been strangled, beaten, and then placed gently beneath the blanket. John carried her upstairs, cradled in his arms. "Oh my God, my baby!" he cried. But by then, it was too late. JonBenét had been dead for hours. The house, now a full crime scene, had already been trampled by family, friends, and responding officers. Critical evidence, fingerprints, footprints, trace DNA, was likely compromised. The ransom note, the basement door, even JonBenét's body, touched before being properly examined. That morning, the illusion shattered. The sparkling life of a 6-year-old girl ended in silence, mystery, and violence. And though the body had been found, the questions had just begun. The death of JonBenét Ramsey did more than shake a family, it stunned the nation. A child murdered in her own home on Christmas night, with no sign of forced entry and a ransom note that felt more like fiction than fact. As the media descended on Boulder, so did suspicion, and it pointed straight at the Ramseys. From the very start, law enforcement and the district attorney's office clashed. The police suspected the family. The DA's office hesitated, citing a lack of clear evidence. Meanwhile, the public demanded answers. Theories bloomed like wildfire. Theory 1, an intruder. Supporters of this theory pointed to the open basement window. They imagined a stranger slipping inside in the dead of night, hiding until the family slept, then striking. Perhaps the note was staged to buy time, or panic the parents. There were also reports of unidentified footprints in the snow, but later, it was revealed there were no solid prints at all. Nothing clear. Nothing conclusive. Theory 2, an inside job. The second, and most persistent, theory held that JonBenét's death was not a kidnapping gone wrong, but a tragic accident, covered up to protect someone in the home. Suspicion often landed on Patsy. The ransom note was written on paper from the Ramseys' own pad, using a pen from their kitchen. Handwriting experts were divided, but some said it matched her style too closely for comfort. Could JonBenét have suffered an accidental injury, perhaps from a pageant-related argument, or a moment of stress, and her death been staged to look like a kidnapping? Theory 3, Burke Ramsey. Some speculated that Burke, 9 years old at the time, could have lashed out at his sister, out of jealousy or frustration. A bowl of pineapple was found on the kitchen table, with both children's fingerprints. Could a sibling quarrel have turned fatal? If so, would the parents have gone to extraordinary lengths to protect their only remaining child? But there were problems with every theory. There were no signs of blood or a struggle. JonBenét had suffered a massive head injury, but also clear signs of strangulation. The garrote used was not the sort of device a child could easily fashion. The note, rambling, dramatic, and over 300 words long, was unlike any ransom letter ever seen. And why would a kidnapper leave a body behind? As these theories swirled, the media made the Ramseys public enemies. Talk shows, tabloids, and 24-hour news cycles devoured every detail. The family's pageant lifestyle was re-examined. Old videos of JonBenét in makeup and costumes aired daily. The public grew divided. Some saw grieving parents, others saw actors, covering something unspeakable. Nearly 3 decades have passed, yet the name JonBenét Ramsey remains etched into America's memory like a haunting lullaby. The murder of a 6-year-old beauty queen not only captivated the nation, it transformed how people viewed child crime, media, and justice. But more than anything, it left behind a question that has never been answered. Who killed JonBenét? As years rolled on, the case never truly went cold, it simply evolved. Books flooded the market. TV documentaries revisited the crime scene again and again. Amateur sleuths created forums, mapped theories, and dissected handwriting samples. JonBenét became the face of unsolved tragedy in the digital age. Her pageant clips, once meant to celebrate innocence, became eerie symbols of vulnerability. The Ramseys' public image remained divided. Some mourned with them. Others accused them. In 2006, Patsy Ramsey passed away from ovarian cancer, never seeing her daughter's killer brought to justice, and never cleared in the public's eyes, despite being officially exonerated 2 years later. That same year, a man named John Mark Carr falsely confessed to JonBenét's murder. He claimed he was with her when she died. But his story didn't match the evidence. No DNA. No proof he had even been in Colorado that night. He was quickly dismissed as a delusional attention seeker, just one of many who inserted themselves into the tragedy. In 2016, Burke Ramsey, now an adult, gave a rare interview, awkward, forced, and widely debated. He denied any involvement and claimed he had moved on. But his appearance reignited the storm, reminding the world how deeply this case still lingered beneath the surface of America's collective psyche. New technology brought renewed hope. In the early 2020s, law enforcement revisited the case using advanced DNA techniques. There was talk of re-examining degraded evidence, possibly using genealogical databases, just like in the Golden State Killer case. But as of now, nothing definitive has emerged. The mystery remains intact, the silence around it louder than ever. In Boulder, JonBenét's grave sits under a white headstone beside her mother. People still leave flowers, teddy bears, notes. Her name, carved in stone, feels both permanent and unfinished. She's remembered not just as a victim, but as a symbol of what happens when innocence is stolen, and when justice is never served. Her story has become more than a murder case. It's a cautionary tale, a cultural scar, and a puzzle that refuses to solve itself. Every few years, a new documentary claims to have the answer. Every time, the case remains right where it began: a child lost, a family shattered, and a nation still asking why. And so the question lingers, whispered by snowy winds and fading headlines. Who killed JonBenét Ramsey? Until that question is answered, her story will never truly end.